Goldylocks Productions provides professional internet, TV, and radio shows in the spiritual and New Age genre.
Hey everybody, Anthony Rodriguez here, Walking Crow, for another Tuesday edition of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. And if you're new to the show, welcome to the show. I'm going to burn a little sage, and I'm going to take a minute before I clear the room to sing in spirit, and then we'll go on to the show from there. Hey, na na, hey, na na, hey, na. Hey, na na, hey, na na, hey, na. Hey, na na, hey, na na, hey, na. Hey, na na, hey, na na, welcome everybody again. We're going to take a little sage before we get going. I'd like to welcome Spirit, welcome you again, and we're going to clear the channels, and I'm going to ask Great Spirit to make me a clear channel, that all the computers and the telephone lines and all the lines all across the world would be clear for this show and for this message, important message today, that I would be a clear channel, a clear and open channel of a good message and a good word of what you need today and what you need to hear. Aho shinu and aho, aho shinu and aho natashe na se, aho. Well, all right. It's Tuesday. Sarah's there. Little Austin and Anthony are there. It's Tuesday. And I'm going to ask you this question before we get started. What are you willing to choose today for a new beginning, for a new start at life? Tomorrow is the new moon. Are you letting go? Are you taking those things and giving them to the universe, giving them to the earth, giving them to the oceans, the lakes, the seas, the sky, grandfather, son? Are you allowing those things to dissipate and go away into a place where you no longer need them? They no longer serve you. They haven't served you for eons and lifetimes. They're not going to serve you now. Aho shinase. Aho. Tomorrow we're setting the new intentions. Write down your intentions today for tomorrow for the new moon, because moving forward, we're moving into summertime. We are in summertime. The solstice is coming next week as well on the 21st, and I'll talk about more about that in a minute. But I want to go through my calendar real quick, because I got a busy calendar coming up, and it's going to get really full, really fast, and I'm really excited. So, as usual, every Tuesday, right here, the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show with Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I put the East first this time, Tiffany. And every Thursday at 8 p.m., Sound Vibration Magic Drum Bath Journey with myself, Walking Crow. I will drum for 20 to 25 minutes, and we will take a journey. We will go to the place of the fire. We'll go to the lower world, the middle world, the upper world, and you'll be able to meet your spirit guide, your spirit animals. You'll be able to ask questions. You'll be meeting those spirits that you need to come across and get answers and get a healing at the same time. And Healing the Masculine Soul on June 16th, next Saturday at 9 a.m. at the Church of Truth, Center for Awakening Consciousness with myself. I'm going to be teaching communication and how the divine feminine, divine masculine can come into a space of being in communicative mode without being wounded, injured, insulted, shamed, worried, or angry about what somebody might say or what somebody isn't saying. At 9 a.m. at the Church of Truth, go to my Facebook page. You can sign up there. It's $20. Check it out. You won't be sorry that you did, I hope. And then again, Sound Vibration Magic Drum Bath Journey with Walking Crow, June 20th in Sedona. I am going to be in Sedona for doing that. And I am going to be at, it's a new venue. I think it's, oh man, now I'm lost at what that's actually being called. hold on a second. I'll tell you right now. It's at the Tribe Wellness Group at 1835 West State Route 89A in Sedona. It's at 7 p.m. It's $20. We're going to journey in Sedona as an intention and as a group at the Tribe Wellness Center. And Phaedra's the owner there. It's a new studio and it's not open yet, and which is exciting for me because I get to kind of like break some things open. I get to kind of test things and see how things work. Break them before they get broken in the opening in August. I'm kidding. We're not going to break anything. So that's $20 on the 20th in Sedona. And then Your Abundance and the Summer Solstice with myself, Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow at the Sedona Creative Life Center. And that's at 7 p.m. on the 21st, Thursday. That's $40 for that event. Sign up now. Go to my events page on Facebook, or you can go to my website, sign up for that, and get that out of the way. And right now, tentatively, I have an event in Charlotte, North Carolina called Full Moon Manifestation and the Sacred Drum Making Workshop with myself, Walking Crow, and my potential host is Jane Ritz, an incredible medicine woman. And that's on June 28th and June 29th at 7 p.m. both nights. We will be making drums in ceremony. It isn't just making a drum. It isn't just having a party. This is ceremonial. Everything that I do with regard to making the drum is ceremonial. So join us and be there. And we will do that on the 28th and the 29th in Charlotte. I'm not sure about that event. It may go away. And if it does, no big deal. There's plenty of room for other events. And you know where to find me. I want to remind you that the call-in number, and call in and ask questions there because it's going to be a deep subject matter, is 323-870-3791. And also, sage. Sage is very important for clearing. It's an antiseptic. It's an antiseptic and disinfectant for the air around us. As well as clears the energies in our bodies, clears the energies around us in our homes, in all those places, in the studios, in all those places that we go. This is a good place for jumping off with regard to learning more about that sort of thing, about clearing energies and that sort of thing. You can buy that for $18.75. $3.75 of that $18.75 is for shipping, and $15 is for the sage. If you want to buy multiple sticks of sage, let's say you buy two sticks of sage, it's $33.75. Or if you buy 3 sticks of sage, it's $45 and it's $48.75. And that way the shipping gets covered and all that. And there goes that. And that's it. And that's all. Here we are. Today's subject matter is going to be about depression. We're going to be talking about depression because earlier this week, Anthony Bourdain crossed over in a not so great way, and Kate Spade crossed over in a not so great way. And these are two popular icons of our culture. I really aligned myself and felt aligned with Tony Bourdain, or Anthony Bourdain, excuse me, when I first found him on the airwaves of, those odd TV channels, and because he wasn't on CNN, or he was just out there someplace on another TV channel. I don't even remember what it was. And I think that was like 10 or 12 years ago. And, he was a chef who was like, he was punk rock, and he was edgy and he lived on the edge, and he had dealt with addiction. All these different kinds of things, and he's from New York, and he's, I think he's half French and half Iroquoian or something. He's from Iroquois or something like that. But, it's somebody that was like a contemporary icon of mine. I don't believe in icons and that sort of thing. I never have. I've never been into like football and football stars and sports stars and stuff like that. When I was just sorely disappointed by the interaction that I had with that person, and that was Hans, the guy who played Hans Solo in the Secret Agent Man. He was a secret agent man, So that was when I was a kid. But that's enough about that. So So, depression, and a lot of us deal with it. Women deal with postpartum depression. People go into depression because of relationships, broken relationships. People go into depression because of deaths in the family, loss of jobs, abuse, you name it, any number of things. People go into depression, and it's tough to walk that line, that fine line of between the dark and the light. Between the gu and the ru. Darkness is gu, light is ru, and and I said last week on this show, and I say it all the time, you can't see the darkness through the light. You can't. You don't know when it's coming, but you can always see the light through the darkness. It may take some work, but you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to see that light. Hope is all around you. Just tap on the person that's to the right of you. Tap on the person that's to the left of you. Tap on the person that's in front of you and turn around and say hey to the person in back of you, wherever you are, if you're around people. There is hope. You are what hope looks like. They are what hope looks like. And depression doesn't have to be worthy of death. Depression doesn't have to be worthy of sadness of thousands, millions, trillions, or one person. The fact that you're gone and you took your own life over depression. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I'm saying that there is hope, and I'm sad, and I'm sad that Anthony Bourdain didn't find hope. I'm sad that Kate Spade didn't find hope. I'm sad that Michael Hutchins didn't find hope. Whoever takes their own life. Those contemporaries of ours, those people we look up to, those people we look down to, those people that that you think they have it all, and they do have it all, but they don't have it all because they don't know where to turn. They can't trust everybody because a lot of people, I've got to say this, around them, who are famous, want something from them. I hope that the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show gets big and reaches millions, but I hope that I remain the same in a humble state, and I don't have to worry about who wants what from me, because that's what I do. I give of myself. Freely I give. That's what they say in Alcoholics Anonymous. That was taught. Now, I work for a living, so I'm not going to say totally freely I give, because, I got to do what I got to do. And depression is a heavy subject matter. I chose to talk about it because every time somebody takes their own life, you start seeing these things on these memes and all these little ads, and people mean well. You know what they say: the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but they keep posting an 800 number. They post an 800 number, and that is you might as well send somebody a piece of junk mail. Sorry, not sorry, because I'm offended by that. I take offense to that because I take personal pride in reaching out to the human spirit, to the human being, to the human that needs help. And you should too. And you're one of those, and you're the people that I reach out to that send those memes for those 800 numbers. When I reach out to people, I post my email address, the name of my Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine, my name, my spiritual name, my email address, and my web address. But when I do it for something like that, when people are suicidal or killing themselves, I post my phone number. I am not an 800 number. I am not an 876-866 number. I am compassion, and I am what love looks like. And I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like. And I would love for you to be the same. I would love for you to be where love lives and what hope looks like, who hope looks like. Everybody Jesus. Everybody talks about Jesus being the Savior, being the Master. Why can't you be the Savior? Why can't I be the Savior? Why can't I be the Master? Why can't you be the Master? Why can't we be walking our humble bare feet or our humble sandals and give to others in a way that helps them, that's helpful? I share And I did it earlier today with my PSA for the show this morning. I did an 8-minute video. I was out walking and I stopped at a school a couple of blocks away, and I sat down on the roots of a tree, and I turned the camera on. And I shared some of my story about depression, because I know what it's like to walk in darkness, to barely be able to see the light behind that darkness. And now, because I was willing to keep going, I wasn't willing to turn the wheel into a ditch when I was in Tennessee. I wasn't willing to drink and drug myself to death. I wasn't willing to throw myself off a cliff or hang myself by the neck, by my 5th chakra. It's energetic. When you hang yourself by the neck, it's energetic. It's because you can't talk about something. It's because there is a block that you can't get past. It's a block that has you living in your head. It's a block that has you already dead living in your head. And if you don't get that out, if you don't put that out, if you don't give that away, allow yourself to fertilize the land with it, a hole, and toss that into the oceans and take a salt bath and open your mouth and speak your truth, something can happen and something may happen, but it doesn't have to. I am living proof. Walking Crow is living proof of that. I went from being Anthony Rodriguez to Walking Crow because I was willing to give of myself. I was willing to stand in the root and the fruit of who and what I am. I was willing to stand in the power of the messages that I heard from all those that were my teachers, all those, and that man that was my sponsor in AA, all those that raised their hands and told their truth and told us what it is they were going through. Are you willing to talk about what you're going through? There are deeper levels of what you're going through, and careful who you talk to about it. Find a teacher, find a master. Find a teacher and find a master. I'm going to talk about this real quick, and I'm not going to give names, but I had a young lady call or reach out to me, and she needed help. And one of the things that she talked about, and I had to point it out, and a lot of us, there's a lot of woo-woo in the world of this kind of work. And there's nothing woo-woo about what I do, because I pull my arrow back, I pull back my bow, and I'm going to strike you with my arrow, because you're going to get the point of what I'm saying. I need to give you the message of what you need to hear. I asked to be a clear channel, and so it is, and so I am, and so I do. So this young lady reached out to me, and we had a conference call, and we were talking, and I was already looking at her. Because when I look at you, it's not like, hey, baby. No, it's not like that. Hey, nice muscles. No, it's not like that. When I look at you, I look at your energetic body. I'm looking at the emotions of your this lifetime, not other lifetimes, not the next lifetime, right here, right now. I'm looking at the intentions and the non-intentions of what you are or not dealing with at this present time in this present life. Never mind past lives. I had somebody get upset with me one time because she really wanted to get into the past life. Well, so-and-so in the past life did this to me. Well, I don't care what he did to you in your past. We're right here, right now, and he has no clue about your past life. And if he does, he's not remembering it. So, when it comes to the healing of the soul, the healing of the body, the healing of the mind, going from gu to ru, darkness to light. The light shines in your 3rd chakra. Darkness to light. You can't go from your 2nd chakra of water connection to others, to self, to your heart space without going through your fire, your fuego. I can, I will, I do. It sits right between your heart and your 2nd chakra, your sexuality, your connection to others, your emotion, your plate where you're birthed and where you birth. A whole. Where we connect, where divine feminine connects to divine masculine. A whole. You can't. You can't. So, living in the body, this body, not the ethereal body, living in this body, living up here doesn't serve us at all. It just keeps us spinning. It gets us into therapy. It gets us into psychiatry. It gets us into smoking pot. It gets us into chain smoking. It gets us into drinking alcohol, spirits in, spirit out. And that's intention. People do that for relief. Are you drinking for relief? Are you smoking for relief? Oh man, I feel better now. I had a cigarette, I have to tell you, and giving those things up isn't easy. And I had to give up. I didn't have to give up. I gave up the last bastion of my bad habits, last week, a few days ago, because I had food poisoning last week and I was really sick. And after a couple of days after, I tried to put coffee in my body. The first sip, it was like something slammed into the bottom of my stomach. And I was like, oh, that didn't feel good. So I started drinking mushroom coffee. I was drinking 3 and 4 cups of coffee a day. 2 of those cups were really big. And I would drink them before I left the house in the morning. And I always say, I like coffee because it's comfort. It's hot, it's round, and it's wet. It's comforting to me. It sits in my hands. I can put it in my lap, and it's there. I take a sip and, it feels good. It smells good. It tastes good to me. But it wasn't serving me to drink coffee. It turned against me. And those things that aren't good for you eventually turn against you. Is it fun? No. Do I want to poison myself? No, but you know what we do? We do. There's people who like to drink soda, and soda's poisonous. Diet soda is even worse. Saying that, I like soda, but I don't drink it. When I do drink it, I only drink a couple of things or a couple of kinds of it. I won't just drink anything, because we all know that there's a lot of GMO material out there that's making its way into our bodies unknowingly and unwillingly. And I don't want to put that in my body. 323-870-3791 is the number. Give us a call. Tell us what you have to say. Tap into the subject matter of depression. Depress, oppress. Give us a call and let us know. Real quick. So, when I share those things about depression, and I get into a deep space because I share my experience, and my experience resonates with those who are listening to my experience, And sorry, I was looking at the camera, and I want my experience to resonate with those who are listening. Now, I have to tell you something. A lot of you know my path. And I'm going to show you something that I found very interesting, because I did a soul retrieval when I first became an energy healer. I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know what it was about, but I have come full circle with that particular soul retrieval about that particular part of my life, which led to depression, which led to loneliness, which led to me feeling like an outcast or a black sheep or the redheaded stepchild. No, there's no redheaded stepchild here, but And I'm going to show you something, because I pulled 3 cards today for myself. And the first one is facade. Can you see that? It's the old man and the child walking into the clouds. At the end of autumn, the leaves have let go. They've let go. They've come together. He's holding his hand. That's the little boy and the man. That's me and the child that came out of the tree into my arms. And this is a 3rd chakra card. See how they have come together. The young and the wise. That little boy, it was and is going to become the equal and the partner to that man. And he wasn't for a long time. He was disconnected. They were separated. And 6 or 7 years ago, that little boy and that man came together. And I've been doing the work of the 3rd chakra to make that happen. And I stand in the power and the word and the root and the fruit and the shoot of who and what I am. And it says facade, but there's no facade there. There's no facade. That is truth. And then I pull the enlightenment card. Holy cow! He pulled the enlightenment card. There is the wise man. There is the little boy standing in front of wisdom. I have always stood in front of wisdom. I always understood the lie. I have owl medicine. I know when you lie to me. I know when you're not telling me the truth. I've known that since I was 3 or 4 years old, if not before that. I've always known. And there I stand before wisdom, because wisdom shines in my life. And you see those rays of sun shining down, and the wise man glowing in that, and see the clouds, and he's standing on the mountain. The little boy stands before him on the mountain. Enlightenment. Moses went to the mountain. Ahoshina soul. That's where he saw the burning bush. Fire, fuego. I can, I will, I do, I am. I am. Direction of the east, direction of wisdom, direction of grandfather, son. And then I pulled the 7th chakra card, destiny. And there they are again. There's yin and yang, the children and the wise men again, the higher self. What have I been doing all this time? I went to a healing arts fair, not far in La Cañada at the Center for Spiritual Living. And my friend Annalisa was doing readings, and I never get readings from people. I just really don't do that a lot. But I listen to people do readings, generally speaking. But Annalise did a reading for me, and she said, your vibration is so high. She says, people cannot keep up with you. That's what all this is talking about. That's what these things are talking about. I'm not saying this to blow smoke up my backside because I want to be better than anybody, but I know the work that I've done. I know that the connection that I've had to do. Yesterday, I was in the backyard and my feet were in the grass. I was barefoot and I drummed and I offered tobacco and I offered sage. No, I didn't offer tobacco. I offered sage and I sang and I prayed and I took the tomahawk that was gifted to me and I did the dance of cutting the cords. Cut the cords and I 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 danced and I danced and I danced and I cut the cords. Because I don't want to go into another new moon carrying the old baggage of those things that I don't need to carry anymore. I don't need to carry those things anymore. Hold on a sec. I've been the hope for a few people, and I was there for them every day and every night until they gave me enough hope that they didn't want to commit suicide anymore. I would do it again in a heartbeat. Right, Sarah? Sarah has held space for those people. Sarah's a healer, and she probably didn't even know it. I'm a poet, don't you know it? Sorry, got silly. And she held space for them until they didn't need her anymore. See, the beautiful thing about holding space for people and giving your number out and making yourself available for the pain of others is it heals the pain within us, and we have no clue that it's happening. When we start to cry with them and feel that and be empathetic with them, and we start to feel that energy in our hearts and we start to cry, that is spirit showing itself, showing up full-fledged, bam, right through the back, pushing out through the front of your heart, allowing you to be empathetic with them and for them. That as healers, that's what we are. That's what we do. I tell many stories of many paths that I have walked and many ways that I have healed. And thank you, Sarah. And I tell those stories because they are true and they happen. And the people that are out there that are my listening audience, that are my watching audience, need to hear that because it makes me real. I'm the real deal. I don't tell porky pies. I guess I could lie. I could tell porky pies. But that term for lies, porky pies, is a term that came from the movie Snatch. So look it up. Watch the movie Snatch and wait for the porky pies from Bulletproof Tony. Of course his name was Bulletproof Tony. Anyway, so the destiny card of the higher self of the 7th chakra universe, God light, God within. Oh shit, I want to say, I'm saging a little bit because boy, the energy is intense in here, and thank you, Sarah, for all your love. Man, I don't have a choice. I was reminded by Jeannie Love, a profound teacher of mine. She's Jeannie Love, the mystic. You look her up on Facebook. She on my friends and look her up. She's an amazing teacher here in Hacienda Heights, Los Angeles. She's an amazing person, but La Habra, not Hacienda Heights, wrong place. She reminded me when I was driving to the desert one more time for an event that people weren't showing up to. She said, remember, Anthony, that you chose this life. And I did choose this life. And what happens when you choose this life and you choose it the way I did is this life eventually chose me. But this life chose me a long time ago as a child. You know, I remember sitting and watching Hugh Downs and Geraldo Rivera crawl through the mud in Vietnam and tell the story. And I would watch the marches at Kent State, you know, and I would watch all those things come through the boob tube, the television, and, you know, giving myself poison. But I didn't believe it because I went to Catholic school. I went to Catholic school and they were talking about Jesus and they were talking about love and forgiveness, but they didn't mean love and forgiveness for me because they were slapping me. They were trying to slap love into me. They were yanking love into me by my arm. They were pulling the ear of love on Anthony, slapping my face and hitting me in the head and hitting me with a ruler. Is that love? Is that what those people are fighting and dying and marching for? Aho. Is that what they're fighting and dying and marching for that kind of love? Because I don't give a shit about that kind of love. Love does not hit. Love does not hate. Love does not smack. Love does not pull the arm, pull the ear. Love does not hit a woman or hit a man. That is not love. And if you think that is love, you need to get the heck out of love. Because what that causes is depression. What that causes is stress. What that causes is anxiety. What that causes is pure sickness in the body. And you see it in breast cancer because somebody isn't loved. I love, I'm loved. Heart space, lungs, air. I love, I'm loved. Cigarette smoke. I don't know how to ask for what it is that I want. I love. I want to be loved. I want to be loved, but I don't know how to ask for it. So I'll ask this little cigarette. Will you love me? Will you love me? No, only for a couple of seconds because you can't breathe with me in you. You cannot breathe with me in you. Oh, will you love me? No, man, because it slow you down, and you know you don't know, you can't drive your car right, and you know you're going to fall asleep, and you're not present. You know, Mr. Bottle, will you love me? No, I won't love you because I got to leave because spirit's in, spirit out. Sahara, welcome back. Thank you for coming back. You know, what is that love? Is that giving yourself, stuffing yourself on Thanksgiving with 3 or 4 plates of food till you can't move, till you're in a comatose state on the couch with your one thumb in your belt and you're leaning back, burping on everybody and waiting for dessert, 3 more plates of dessert? Is that love? I don't know, man, but I can't live my life that way anymore because doing those things sent me into a depressed life. They sent me into an anxiety-filled life. They've sent me into a depressed and stressed life, and I won't live that way anymore. There's nothing loving about that. There's nothing loving at Christmas time when people give some kids more than others and pretend like somebody didn't see it. I've seen that happen in people's homes. They give to one and not to the other. Is that love? When you love your grandchildren more than your own children and you yell and speak illy and poorly of your own children, is that love? Do you know how effed up kids are and people are these days that they're on antidepressants and they come into that store that my last day is tomorrow at. They come in there looking for something for anxiety, for stress. I need to be calm. I need some magnesium. I need some calcium. I need calm. I need something. I need HTTP5. I need this. When does it stop? When does it end? When will it finish? When will you stop calling it mental illness when it's not mental illness? It's an illness of a broken heart. It's the illness of a broken relationship in the 3rd chakra. It's an illness of low or no self-esteem. It's an illness of having no root, no foundation because, sorry, I'm going to say this, but there's lots of kids with no fathers or fathers that don't show up for them or not even around. Aho. And I grew up that way. I grew up with a father who was in the house, but he wasn't here because he was too sucked up in alcohol. He was too sucked up in his life, the hurt, shames, and the wounds of his childhood. Now, I'm not going to hold his feet to the fire because I can't do that. But I have to find compassion for that man, which means I have to give compassion to myself and to him and to my mom, because my mom had to live through that too, and my brothers and sisters. Well, how do you do that, Anthony? You go inside, you get quiet, you talk to your teachers, you start to share about the hurts and the wounds. Write those things down. Don't sit there and when people talk to me, I point it out when they're talking to me, especially potential clients, they'll be talking, they'll go, "Oop." I'll say something, they'll go, "Mm. See that? See that energy that just got held?" And I point it out to people and I'll say, "See that right there? See, I'm always looking, because that block right there keeps us right up here." And if you notice, I didn't have a fifth chakra today. The power of that I live in is in the power of my third chakra and the power of my seventh chakra. In the power of my seventh chakra, while being grounded on this earth, while being rooted and fruited, and allowing my branches to reach into the heavens, and allowing the birds of the air to nest in my branches and eat of my fruit. Eat of my fruit. And the fruit that I bear is the fruit of the experience of how I got from point A to point B. A whole 323-870-3791 is the call-in number. If you need to reach me outside of this and you want to set up an appointment or a session with me, a drum session, a healing session, a coaching session, or mentoring session, you can reach me at Anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com, or you can go to my website at www.sacreddrummedicine.com, or you can call me at my office number, which is area code 818-442-1717. Now, this morning, I spent a lot of time reaching back to people who reached out to me through my website. But for some reason, when I reach out to people through email, they never reach back. And when I answer them, I never hear from anybody. And it's the strangest thing. I need some hibiscus. I'm drinking hibiscus today because, unsweetened hibiscus, because it's good for the pancreas and the kidneys and all those, the liver and all those things that, can just clean it out. Sorry if you hear the gurgling, because I have the microphone. The microphone is right here at my fifth chakra, at my voice. So that's why I always have a clear signal. So anyways, those are powerful cards. And those powerful cards talk to the child. They talk to the man. The child and the man is in each one of those cards. When I did that soul release and with an amazing shaman named Amanda Folger in the Topanga Canyon, I did that release, soul release, and I didn't know what to make of it, because I was flunked in the second grade and I was left behind, and I didn't have a tribe. I didn't have anybody. And the new tribe, I never really felt connected to it. I spent a lifetime. I spent 51 years in that void of not having a place and not feeling like I had a tribe or a place in society. I just didn't fit. And I know now why I didn't fit, because I was the medicine man at 6 years old. I was a medicine man at 3 years old. I was a medicine man when they flunked me in the second grade. I was a medicine man in different parts of my life, and I had no clue. I didn't know. Creator Great Spirit was speaking to me. The universe was speaking to me. All my relations and ancestors were speaking to me. If you hear them speaking to you, if the medicines are calling to you, say yes. Say yes. Say yes. Please say yes. Oh. Yeah. Sage to protect themselves is self-smudging. Use the smoke that I put out. When I'm smudging you guys, is not just for me. The clearing is for you. You may be where you are, but my intention is what my intention is. My intention is for you, the listening audience, the watching audience. So it's a sujata, or suhara. I'm going to say suhara. Anyways, I didn't fit in either. Sarah says she didn't fit in either. See, I'm not alone, and that's why I share this stuff. I can't imagine my producer, Tiffany White Sage Woman, with all her abilities and everything she does and is. one of the things that I love about Tiffany Sage Woman, is that on her show, when I watch her show, my favorite thing is her joy, is to watch her laugh and let other people laugh. I'm just like, it cracks me up. It's fun to watch her show. And I don't know if Tiffany was always like that or if she ever took any heat for being the way she is, but I took a lot of heat for being the way I am. You know, as a younger guy, I was 238 pounds. You know, I didn't know how to say no to the filling of the hole, to the stuffing of the hole. I didn't know that I had a soul. I didn't know that my soul would be apparent in my life. And did you hear what I just said? Did you hear that? I said, I didn't know that my soul would be apparent in my life. My soul is my parent. My soul is my presence. My soul is my gift. My soul has raised me from the little birthing of the child all the way up through the flunking, through the getting kicked out of schools and all that stuff. And to this point right now at 57 years old on the 12th of June at 1:40 p.m., my soul has been my parent, a parent to me the whole time. Listen to the words that I'm using, Aho. And by the way, let me ask you something real quick. Does it look like I have antlers back here? This is my dream catcher. The feathers of my dream catcher hanging down around me. So if it looks like I have antlers or something, that's what that is. I turned the studio around back to my original place of shooting. So a parent, find and step into the soul that you have were given eons ago. Eons ago. The soul doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the body, and step into it and step into the self-parenting, apparence of that. Self-nurturing. Here I go. Here it is back. Self-nurturing, self-care. Nurturing the nature of who and what we are. Nurturing the nature of who and what we are will help you to transcend depression. It'll help you to transcend loneliness. It'll help you to transcend what else? It'll help you to transcend anxiety and the stress that you feel. You know, so why wouldn't you parent yourself? And I'm gonna tell you something. How many of you, or I'm gonna ask you this, how many of you had shitty parents, lousy parents? See, because we were dropped off at like 6-something in the morning at a cousin's house or my grandmother's house or someplace because my mother went to work, and then they would pick us up and we'd be at their house. We were never at home till my father came to get us when he got out of work about 4 o'clock. And he came to pick us up, and then he'd take us home and feed us and all that stuff. And there was never ever anybody to help us with homework and do stuff like people do now, you know. And I'm not like angry about it or anything like that. I've already done the work on that. That's why I'm able to talk about it the way I do. You know, sometimes just parents don't know how to be parents because they didn't have parents that knew how to be parents. They had parents that were child brides at 15 and 13 and 16, and they didn't know how to crap. They didn't know how to wipe their butts, you know, and here they are having a child with some guy who doesn't know how to raise children either because he's still a child, you know. And then he comes into the responsibility. So tell him, I want to know. Let me know if I'm pushing some buttons. Then they come into the responsibility of having a family, and they start to drink because they can't handle the responsibility and the pressures of having a family. Oh, you know, my sister lives across the street from the studio here in Los Angeles, and she raised some pretty great kids. She didn't raise them like she was raised, you know, and she's always there for them. She shows up for everything that they do. My brother-in-law, I'm going to tell you something. If you know who Raul Jimenez is, he's married to Yolanda. I bet sometimes I wish he wasn't, but he's the greatest dad in the world. He is the greatest dad in the world because he talks to his children. He helps them, walks them through their education and what it is that they want in their life. Not for what he wants for his life, which is how we were raised. I played saxophone. I was a musician. I played saxophone not because I wanted to play saxophone, but because my mother wanted to hear Begin the Begee. It had nothing to do with me. That's why I played Afrobeat and the Shekere. But he's the greatest father in the world. You know why? Because he talks to his kids. His kids go through tough times. One of them is autistic. One of them is autistic, and she's a beautiful young woman. She's an artist. She coaches tennis, and she's an amazing child. And then my other niece is just an amazing kid that the both older kids watch over her. And then when the stepbrother comes from far away from back from Santa Maria, it's a full family and they're happy to see each other. And it's so great to be around a family like that. That's not one of those TV families or anything like that, but that's the family. That's the result of a lot of hard work, not just on my sister's part, but on my brother-in-law's part, on the part of the kids, on the whole unit, being willing to open up and talk about what they went through, how they hurt, how they were diminished by others, and they didn't have to be, and they stood up and rose up a whole, and they found each other, and they found healing in each other. And I get to watch that example. See, because I've been married 3 times, and what did I learn? I learned a lot. And what I learned more than anything is I'm going to honor those 3 marriages and all the relationships that I've ever been in, including the relationship with my mother and my grandmother and all those women who abused me as a child. And I'm going to take those lessons into the next relationship, if there is one. And I'm going to honor all those relationships in this relationship, because I'm going to honor that person, because I'm able to honor myself, because I don't walk in depression. I don't walk in anxiety. I don't walk in stress. I don't walk in the things that America wants us to walk in so we can be drugged up and poisoned and be broken robots and zombies. You ever look at what somebody looks like when they're standing on the street looking at their phone and their face is illuminated? They look like zombies, and they are zombies because they're cut off from themselves, because they're holding the device in their hand that doesn't allow them to have a conversation with somebody else when everybody else is sitting at a dinner table or in the living room or in the backyard swimming pool party. Everybody is on the phone and nobody's actually communicating. Everybody's here, but nobody's there. We're all here, but we're not all there. And we do it to ourselves, and we don't have to. We don't have to. I, for one, use my devices for work. I'm using 2 of them now. I'm using my Mac desktop and I'm using my phone, and we use those devices to produce this show and to produce this content, which is here to help you to walk through depression. They say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know what? Raise your hands and say, hey, if you know that sometimes the bootstrap breaks. Oh, how many of you have to go off to the drugstore in the middle of the night or late night because you broke a shoelace? The bootstrap breaks. Or you have to stop there before you go to work at the shoe repair and buy some shoelaces or whatever, and you never get the right kind, and now you've got a brown shoelace on a black shoe or a black shoelace on a brown shoe, and there it is, and that's it. And and you go on. See, you went to pull yourself up with the bootstraps. The bootstrap broke, and you're at the shoe repair or the CVS or whatever drugstore, 5 and dime, trying to find a shoelace to repair the situation, to move forward, right? That's how that works. Isn't that weird? It's that easy. Come on. It can't be that easy, Anthony. What are you talking about? That's a bootstrap, Anyways, so I'm just checking, because I have to actually flip to another page to see what my producer is saying in my ear when she's actually typing it in the keyboard. So 323-870-3791. So the subject has been depression, and it's never fun, and it's always painful. And I watched my family members, walk through that. I have an older brother who's walked through depression, and he goes to therapy. But I don't know how much therapy is helping him. But he won't reach out to the people that I send him to. Well, I guess what works for one doesn't work for everybody. And I watched my father drink through his depression, and my mother is a caretaker, and she, I watched her caretake her father, her mother, my Uncle Phil, my Uncle Indio, Uncle Tony, my Uncle Charlie, and my dad, and her brothers that crossed over, and she's a strong woman, but how much can you take? And that's what I appreciate about the divine feminine. When I say this is my left hand, this is the hand of divine feminine, this is the hand of receiving, I'm proud to say that. I am proud to say that. This is the hand of receiving. This is my right hand, the hand of divine masculine, the hand of giving. It gives to the divine feminine a whole. It gives to the divine feminine. And when those two hands are aligned, and I am aligned in and of myself, I become she-man, shaman. You become she-man, shaman. A whole, a whole, a whole. How amazing is that medicine? How amazing is that medicine? So amazing that it's within us and we don't use it. We don't use it. We don't use it. So there's something that happened this week because of what I do. And there's some words that I stay away from. I stayed away. I try not to use the shamanic word too much because there's a lot of people that call themselves that. And who knows if they're that or not, because who knows if they've actually done the work to come to this place. Now, I'm not one to judge, but I have to be in discernment and ask those questions. I didn't call myself that. I didn't call myself a shaman. I was called that by the community, those who are out there who know what I do and follow me. And I'm thankful for that. The medicine man was referred to by my elders. Oh, they called me that. I didn't call me that. But I'm willing to step into those roles and do what it is that I have to do. And so I'm going to be stepping more into that role than anything, shamanic healing. And, and what does that look like? Well, that looks like talks like this, talking about depression and helping people through their depression and through the anxieties and helping them to breathe and go into their bodies instead of going outward into a jar or a needle or rolling papers or a bottle. And when I say a jar, I mean like, medications, heavy duty Xanax or stuff like that, that doesn't really serve. That stuff doesn't serve. What serves? I am willing to serve you. I am willing to serve the general public, my general audience, from in Los Angeles to Sedona, across the country, across the lands, through the canyons, over the mountains, over the rivers, across the seas, whatever the sea looks like, whether it's Lake Erie or whether it's the Atlantic or the Pacific, into other continents. Because this message from this medium gets carried into those places, and I am willing to go there. I'm going to go there this summer. I'm leaving next week. I'm going to Sedona to do 2 events, and then I'm going to be on the road. And I may not be on the road to Charlotte because that doesn't look like it's taking shape, but I need you folks to call me. I need you folks to open up your home. Because people with depression, people with anxieties, people who have been molested, who have been assaulted, who have been abused verbally or physically. And I'm coming. And if you want to get them a little bit of help, just a little, invite 10 to 20 friends into your living room, into your backyard. Have them bring a dish. Have them bring some cornbread or a plate of fruit or some baked beans or some mashed potatoes or a bag of chips or some soda, no alcohol, please, or whatever, a fruit salad, a casserole, because that's what America does. They bring things, they heal over food. And let's come together in your home and I will take the donation, any donations that they are willing to offer me, and I will come in and do a talk and do healings, do drumming, whatever it takes. I'll be there for a couple of hours. We'll make it a picnic, and we'll make it community. Community can heal itself if it becomes willing to reach out to itself and others. A whole. Remember, I said earlier in the show, I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like. Repeat after me. I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like. I am where love lives, and I am what hope looks like. Bring hope to your community. Bring love through your door, and both ways, going in and coming out. Bring it in, bring it out, because this country needs it. There's so many people who are in such desperate situations. People are having their children taken from them. Wow, how does that help anybody? Right? Legal or illegal, that doesn't help anybody. It destroys the human being, the human soul. Why do that? So let's come together. Reach out to me at area code 818-442-1717. Let's start setting this stuff up. Reach out to me at Anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com. Reach out to me at www.sacreddrummedicine.com. Call in 323-870-3791. Leave a note on the feed here. Say something about that. If that moves you, if that strikes you, if you want to get some healing without having to spend $1 million, coming to me, see me privately. I don't charge $1 million. I'm kidding. If you want to get some help, there are those who can help you. I can help you. We can help each other by coming together as community. Commune, a whole entity, a commune entity, community, a whole. Nurturing the nature of our spirit, nurturing the nature of who we are, nurturing the nature of a depression we can beat, of an anxiety we can beat, nurturing the nature of a stress that doesn't have to be, of an ism that doesn't have to be, whether it's alcoholism, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's food addiction, whether you're shopping and filling your house with things that you don't need, hoarding, creating a trap for yourself. Oh, are you abusive? Do you hit your kids? Do you hit your wife? Do you yell? Do you scream? Would you like to not do that? Does it pain you so much when you do it that you go off and cry and fall into the addiction of what you do because of the things that you do? You don't have to. I don't have to anymore, and I haven't for 26 years. 26 years is a long time, and 26, 6 plus 2 is 8. It's infinite. It's infinite. And 26 is 2 cycles of 13 from the Mayan calendar, from the Mayan belief system. 4 cycles is a lifetime, 52 years old. I became an elder at 52. Start to look at those things in those ways, and the magic of 8, the magic of an infinite number, the magic of 26 being the magic of divine feminine, the magic of the divine feminine. They have been under the thumb of the patriarchy for 26,000 years. Forget that, guys. Women, rise up. I will come to your town. I will talk about those things. Invite 10, 20 of your best girlfriends and their husbands and their boyfriends and vice versa. And let's have a conversation of healing, because the buck stops here. The buck stops here. And I'll be taking donations because that's what Spirit said that I needed to do. That's it. That's all. I want to thank everybody who came today to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And, listen to what it is to be in depression and what it is not to be. And I talk seriously about these things because I watch people die. We have seen two cultural icons die in a week's time. or maybe 10 days time. And it doesn't have to be. Please seek somebody out. 818-442-1717 is my phone number. If you're depressed, call me. If I can't help you, I will point you to somebody that can. There's somebody that can. But I can do a lot of things for a lot of people, and I'm willing to. I'm willing to do the things that a lot of people wouldn't do for me, because that wasn't their charge. It's my charge to do these sorts of things. My charge. I want to thank everybody for coming. My name's Anthony Rodriguez Walking Crow, and this was the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. Have a great day. Have a great evening. Have a beautiful week. Oh, and have a great new moon. Set those intentions, everybody. Bye-bye.